There is no doubt that there are specific days when you feel blue or sad. But have you ever wondered to what extent is feeling sad okay? With this being said, are you well-oriented about your mental health lately? Are you aware of what mental health is and its different types? If not, this is your chance to broaden your learnings about mental health and get the chance to take care of yourself. But before everything else, I would like to talk about how people treated mental health way back then. Before, people did not give much importance to mental health. In ancient Mesopotamia, mental health diseases were referred to as the hands of certain deities because hands indicated authority over a person. For the people in the 18th century, they thought that mental illness was more of a moral problem that could be solved by providing human care and developing moral discipline. But now, during this modern time, many mental health illnesses can now be treated almost as effectively as physical illnesses. Because of this, many people struggle when it comes to overcoming these disorders because of the pressure from society standards and the lack of proper treatments. Thankfully, many inquiries and studies in our modern era have led to the discovery of many mental health illnesses and their effects on each individual in the society. There are 3 different types of mental health disorders that were discovered in the modern time, which are the following: anorexia nervosa, depression, and bulimia nervosa. For the first mental health disorder, I am going to talk about anorexia nervosa. According to mayoclinic.org, anorexia nervosa is an eating disorder characterized by an abnormally low body weight, a strong fear of gaining weight, and a skewed sense of weight. Some of the physical symptoms include bluish discoloration of the fingers, hair that thins, breaks or falls out, soft downy hair covering the whole body, and absence of menstruation. Its emotional symptoms include frequently skipping meals or refusing to eat, denial of hunger, and frequent checking in the mirror for perceived flaws. There are several ways in how to treat anorexia, which is hospitalization, other programs, medical care, restoring a healthy weight, and psychotherapy. 3 out of every 4 anorexia nervosa patients, including those with severe illness, make a partial recovery. However, just 21% make a complete recovery, which is the most likely evidence of persistent remission. You see, anorexia isn't primarily a food disorder. It's a tremendously harmful and in some cases a life-threatening technique of dealing with our emotional issues. When you have anorexia, thinness is generally associated with your self-worth. However, with treatment, yes, you can regain a better understanding of who you are as a person, return to healthy eating habits, and reverse some of the terrible consequences of anorexia. Now, let's move on to the second mental health disorder, which is depression. Depression is a significant medical condition that affects many people. Sadness and/or a loss of interest in previously appreciated activities are symptoms of depression. Its emotional symptoms include lack of concentration, being cranky, restlessness, loss of interest in things once pleasurable, overeating or appetite loss, recalling facts, and trouble making decisions. At times, yes, we may feel unhappy, lonely, or depressed. These feelings, however, can prevent you from leading a regular active life if they become overwhelming, induce physical symptoms, and linger for a long time. The treatments for depression are medications, psychotherapy, alternative therapies, and exercise. According to data released by the World Health Organization, the overall prevalence of depression in the Philippines is 3.3%. You see, depression can be a short-term problem or a long-term issue. Treatment does not always guarantee a complete recovery from depression. With this being said, although treatment cannot guarantee full recovery, it can often make symptoms more manageable. Lastly, I am going to talk about the third mental health disorder, which is bulimia nervosa. Bulimia nervosa is a fatal eating disorder. Bulimics may purge, wherein they tend to eat a big amount of food without control and then purge, attempting to get rid of the additional calories. Bulimics exhibit symptoms such as being preoccupied with their body form and weight, living in fear of gaining weight, and eating excessively large amounts of food in one sitting on a regular basis. Treatment usually entails a collaborative effort between you, your family, and your primarily care provider. Its treatment includes psychotherapy, medications, nutrition education, and hospitalization. According to statistics, the lifetime prevalence of bulimia nervosa in women is 1.5% and 0.5% of men in the United States. It's difficult to know how to avoid bulimia because there is no exact reason as to why people get it. However, there are strategies to teach children and teenagers good eating and body image attitudes and practices. You see, the pandemic has had really a big effect on us. Many of us are confronted with difficulties that can be stressful, upsetting, and elicit powerful emotions in both adults and children. Public health measures like the social separation are vital to stop COVID-19 from spreading, but they can make us feel alone and lonely, as well as cause tension and worry. You, the people around you, the people you care about, become more resilient if you learn to manage stress in a healthy way. With this being said, mental health has an impact on the way we think, we feel, and act. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood, adolescence, through adulthood. That is why learning about mental health is beneficial to us, not only because it helps us become more aware of our surroundings, but it also helps us grow individually as a person.